Hey everybody, welcome back. Today is an exciting day because today we usher in the possible start of the biggest bull run we've ever seen. Now, I'm not one to hype, and I recognize what I'm basing and building this channel off of. I'm building it off of integrity and facts. But the fact of the matter is, we are looking at the possible start of the final push to the mega bull rally that we've been discussing. So we know that the bull market is going to be lasting at least a couple more months. We know that we just suffered a huge retracement, and now Bitcoin is barreling down back to the 55K mark. What's next? We're not sure. Bitcoin right now is just halting, but we're going to be talking about that, and then we're going to be talking about where I think crypto is going to go in the next couple of months. It's also very important that we all stay prepared, keep level-headed, and be ready for what is about to happen over the next couple months. I wanted to start out briefly by going over the DXY. Now, I am going live a little bit later today, so we are going to be talking about this specifically. But if you look at the DXY, and we're on the day chart right now, we can see this giant spike where it broke up and started breaking out. We now see that it is going back down. You might notice with this day chart, this actually correlates pretty closely to what Bitcoin suffered. So let's take a look at that. So if we look at Bitcoin and switch to the day, we can easily see that time that the DXY was up, we can easily see Bitcoin was barreling down. So now that the dollar is back on its decline, back on its track that we expect it to be on, and I gotta be careful because I'm pretty sure some of these videos don't get shared out because of some of the stuff that I talk about with money. So I'm gonna be very careful moving forward talking about those kind of things, but I'll find another medium to discuss those things with you guys. Now, obviously, the crypto market is exploding. So if we take a look at some things, Ethereum is back up to the 1800 mark. Very good to see Ethereum back up to almost where it was in terms of the all-time high. Still needs to get to that 2K. Can Ethereum hit 3K or 3500? Now, you guys know that I'm a huge ETH bear. I have ETH staked. I can't do anything with it. It sucks. It is what it is. Would I sell all my ETH if I had the chance today? Probably not all. I'd sell a portion because 1800, and I've been buying ETH since the 100, right? So I've been buying at a very small range. So me personally, it might be time to take profits here for ETH. But for you, if you got in at ETH at 1200, I probably wouldn't be taking profits because it's most likely going to go to 3500. I do expect a 3500 ETH. A lot of people are claiming that we could see a 10,000 ETH at the end of this bull market. I'm not sure how realistic that is because we have the Enzo update with Cardano. We have Hydra coming out. We just had the Merry Hard Fork, and we have Polkadot and Polkadot DeFi and Parachains coming live soon. So I don't know exactly how much market capitalization Ethereum can maintain. If it can maintain what we originally thought, yeah, 10,000 is feasible, but I'm still not banking on that 10,000. I'm more realistically talking maybe 35 to 5,000. But I would hedge against ETH and have a little bit of ADA and a little bit of Polkadot just in case. Moving down the list into ADA, so we're looking at the ADA one-day chart here. Obviously, we saw the incredible rise from 30 cents all the way up to 80 cents and then up again to $1 and then finally to $1.40 peaking out. Now, where are we realistically going? I think in the near term, in terms of ADA, because we hung around so much above the 20 cent mark, I think right now anything under $1.20 is a steal. Realistically, I think anything under $3 is a steal. You guys know where I was talking about with ADA. Now, with the updates coming often, and we have updates coming here in May, often these updates end up being baked into the price. So when the thing finally launches, whatever event we're waiting for finally launches, then at that point, the price will already be in there. Like, we will hype it up already and we'll buy already out of the news, right? So you got to remember that all these markets aren't based on logic. It's all based on human emotion. Things go up and things go down when we are scared, not for anything to do with the market. It has nothing to do with the market. If you remember that in terms of crypto or any asset class or any market, that the markets are all emotional, you start to recognize that you really can't predict anything. But I do think that in the near term, a $2 ADA is very realistic. So I think by the end of March, we're at least going to see the $2 ADA. Might not be the $3 that I had claimed of prior, but we will see a high ADA, but I don't think that's where it's going to end. I'm not going to make any grandiose price predictions for the end of the bull market for ADA because it could go anyway. I'm expecting super high in terms of past $10, maybe 15. But regardless, I have no idea where the ceiling is. I have no idea how good DOT's going to do or how good ETH is going to do once they fix the ETH gas fees. In terms of Polkadot, we talked about Polkadot before. It's spiking now at $38. And obviously I was accumulating down in the bleeding phase when Polkadot was launched. Now, obviously it's shut up. What do I expect with Polkadot? In all honesty, and I'm not even like, this isn't hyperbole or anything else. I really do expect about $150 Polkadot. I know that's a lot, but when you look at how ETH moved in the prior 2017 bull run and how Polkadot is moving now, it resembles a lot of how that ETH gain was happening. And I do think we don't have a lot of the potential just yet because we don't have the parachains live and we don't have all of the other interoperability between these blockchains quite yet with Polkadot. So we're still waiting on that, and we're still waiting for Polkadot DeFi. And you guys know some of the projects that I'm invested in. I have Ocean Protocol. I'm a big Ren fan. I have Reef, and I still hold Reef even among the FUD. I'm super excited for Polkadot and AVAX and KSM and all of that. We finally see Link back at $30. Now, again, I mentioned to you guys back when we were in the $26 range that Link is still undervalued, and even arguably at the $30 range, Link is undervalued because Link is partnered with everyone in blockchain. Anyone doing a credible crypto project that needs an Oracle blockchain is partnering with Chainlink. It's blatant. You can see it everywhere. To think that Chainlink isn't going to be a multi-$100 cryptocurrency is kind of weird to think that it could not do that. So I definitely think that Chainlink is definitely a buy. Now, one thing that we notice with Chainlink is Chainlink often lags behind and usually pumps when everything else isn't. We could see Chainlink just lag behind and blow everyone away. So who knows? It is what it is. Not financial advice, any of this, but I personally believe Chainlink is undervalued. I will be DCAing a little bit, but there's other projects and other low cap projects that I'm funneling most of my money into at this point. I would say quickly, if you're a new investor, I definitely go ahead and make sure that you have Chainlink.ADA. And then after that, go ahead and get into some risky altcoins, some low cap coins. And I know a lot of people won't agree with me, but at this point, if you're in cryptocurrency at this point in the bull market, you're not going to make a massive profit that people would have made when they were in the bear market. So you might as well come in, learn a little bit, lose a little bit of money, gain a little bit of money, and then be ready for the next bear market and into the next bull market. You do not want to leave after the crash. It will crash, everything will go down, but you need to stay in crypto and keep accumulating through the bear market. I promise you, it's going to be the best thing that you did. XRP is showing some signs of life. We still don't know what's going to happen with XRP because obviously we still have the case and everything else that's hurting and suppressing this price. So I'm not going to expect much out of XRP in the next coming weeks, but we could see a spike because we know that XRP will often just spike because it's a bull market and it's just going to follow Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it might correct and it might go back into the 60, 70 cent range, but I'm not expecting much past that. In the near term, of course, in the long term, I am expecting a much higher XRP, but obviously we would need the SEC case to be concluded at that point. So we will wait to hear from that. So overall, the cryptocurrency market is $1.7 trillion, a huge number to think about. We have Binance Coin being skyrocketing again, and we've talked about Binance Coin. I mentioned it in one of the portfolio videos, and I mentioned why Binance Coin was a good buy because the Binance Smart Chain. So obviously the Binance Smart Chain is really doing well and will continue to do well throughout this bull market. So, and as more projects hop onto the Binance Smart Chain and hop onto these decentralized exchanges like PancakeSwap, I definitely think it's going to grow in value. And with that, of course, Pancake is going to grow too. So I think over the next few weeks to be aware of, we are going to see a bunch of cryptocurrencies light up. Some of the ones that we've talked about on the channel, some that we haven't. It's very important that you look at the projects that haven't pumped and start funneling money into those projects. Because the more money you put into the projects that haven't pumped quite yet, the higher price potential that you're going to get. I often get asked, why wouldn't I buy Ethereum if Ethereum is going to go to 5K? Or why shouldn't I buy Uniswap if Uniswap's going to 100? Why would I not buy Uniswap? Well, consider this. I purchased Uniswap at $2.50. So that is way more than 1,000% gain. To recreate that same gain, Uniswap is going to have to go to about $3,200 to recreate that gain that I've already made. So that's just to put ROI in perspective. Sometimes because the token costs more or it's going to go to an incredible number, doesn't always mean you're going to make the most money. I'll use RSR as an example. So we just talked about RSR recently. So RSR is at 7.5 cents. RSR would need to go to 75 cents to hit a 10x. So just to put this in perspective and hit it home in terms of the price of a asset. So let's look at two cryptocurrencies that are relatively close in terms of market capitalization and then discuss that. So one big number that you need to be aware of is the market capitalization. You'll notice Cardano's at 37.5 and then Polkadot's at 36.7. So they're fairly close. But you'll notice that Cardano is at $1.18 and Polkadot is at 37 cents. So the projects are valued the same, but the price of the token is different. And that's because of how many tokens are available. So Cardano has 45 billion, Polkadot only has 1 billion. Okay, so that's to explain. So you got to recognize the difference between market cap, price doesn't matter, and the circulating supply of the token that you're looking into. And that way you can determine whether or not it's an actual feasible ROI that you can get behind. So let's use Bitcoin as a final example. I don't think many people can argue that Bitcoin will be going to 100K. So for you to double your money, if you put $1,000 into Bitcoin right now and Bitcoin went to 100K, you would have $2,000. But if you put $1,000 into Cardano and Cardano went to $10, you would have $10,000. Roughly, I'm using ballpark numbers, not the exact numbers on the screen. So obviously, you got to do your math to figure out the exact numbers, but you get the difference. That's the defining line of the difference here. How much money can you make in other projects compared to others? So I know Ethereum is nice, and I know Uniswap is nice, and I know all these projects that have pumped are really nice, and you want to buy into these green candles. But the reality is the ROI is made in the things that haven't pumped and still have plenty of room to grow. So that's why I'm shilling things like Chainlink, things that have clearly not pumped to the potential that they could pump. That being said, I still think if you don't have DOT and you don't have ADA, they're a definite good buy. And especially at ADA at this price. Anything below $1.20, like I said, is a steal. But that's it for me, everybody. Hopefully this bull market is finding everyone well. Obviously, everyone's woken up to huge, great news over the last couple hours. So it's been good. It's been good. I did post about this specifically. And I was just wondering whether people bought or whether people just sat on their hands. A lot of people sat, and there's nothing wrong with that. The people that sold, I brought this up into the video that I discussed when the dip started happening. If you were selling at those levels, you most likely were selling out of fear. So I would try more so to control your emotions, especially as we get higher and higher. Because if you take all profits and sell 100% of your holdings, then there's no room for you to get the gains past that. So just don't miss out on thousands of percents of gains, and that should be good to go. Okay, everybody, hope that helps. Go ahead and like the video if you've enjoyed, subscribe for more crypto content, and happy hodling.